Hello and welcome to my next video in the series of my life path and expression numbers. Now this is another requested video for one of my lovely subscribers and commenters. It's for your sister. You know who you are, and you'll definitely know who you are by me saying that, because I'm not saying your name on air, but you know who you are. This is for your sister. And this is, of course, as well for any other person that is a life path 9 and an expression number 3. So what I'm going to do with this video is show you how to support your all-important life path 9 using the talents of your expression number 3. Now, as I always say, your life path is the most important number in your chart. It's like the king of your kingdom. So all your other numbers, including your talent number expression 3, is there and exists solely to support that life path 9, because that's your purpose. Think of it as your ultimate target for life is the achievement of your life path 9, and the talent you bring with you is your talent in the expression energy of 3. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break the life path down into sections, and that's on the left hand side column, and next to that I'm going to put how the expression number helps or hinders the achievement of that element of your life path. Okay, so what you're here to achieve, your development points in this lifetime as a life path 9, you're here to work on issues with your integrity, to ensure that your intentions towards others and the well-being of humanity are good. So the life path 9 can sometimes be a bit naughty in their young life, for want of a better word, maybe get themselves in trouble a lot. You might do some things in your early life that aren't the best, but that's part of your life path. Doesn't make you a bad person. It's what the 9 is all about. So we're here to work on issues about acting with more integrity, more good intentions, not just for your own well-being, but for the well-being of those around you, being less of a naughty scamp in the world, for want of a better word. Okay, so ensuring that your intentions are good for the well-being of humanity. You're also here to show that goodness to the world by being an example to others, communicating your intuitive wisdom, because you're a 9, you're able to channel intuition. You've got great intuition. So you're an example to others, but the example you set needs to be channeled through your intuition. It should not come from worldly laws and ideals unless they are congruent with your intuition from source energy. Sometimes the 9 can do things that if they really consulted their soul about it, they would never have done that. They were following worldly laws and conventions. That's why they did it. That's what you want to come away from when you're a life path 9. Your actions should be from your intuition. I'm not asking you to ignore worldly laws, but look to the spiritual laws for, because there's some worldly laws that are not congruent with spiritual laws. All over the world you'll see it. So to know what's best, look at the rule or the law or the ideal and really meditate on it. Does my intuition, does source energy agree with this sentiment? And then you'll know whether this is a good idea to be an example to others with, to share with others, to communicate with others, to teach others. Your life as a spiritual being in the 9 needs to be your teaching, practicing what you preach, channeling your intuitive wisdom to the people, and kind of being that spiritual leader, that inspirer with your words. That's what you're working towards as a life path 9 in a nutshell. The expression talent that you bring with you in the 3 is you have amazing creative emotional expression. You're an actor, you're a teacher, you're a speaker. When you speak, people listen, you make people laugh, you pull people's emotions out of them just by talking, just by expressing yourself. And you can do that with your art, your words, your body, anything, your creative expression that you're able to bring to the world is amazing. And you can entertain and inspire people to a massive extent. So excellent creative emotional self-expression. You're able to choose just the right words to create the emotion and the sentiment that you need. You're an artist, you're a creator. You can express with your words, you can express with your hands, you can express with your whole body in dance or sports. You know, some nines like scary sports, and threes as well. Threes love adrenaline sports. So you might express yourself with your body, like with stunts and scary things that I would never do because I'm too scared. So to communicate through your words or your art or your physical expression, to give people a message, to inspire them, to make them laugh, to wow them. You know, that's your talent in the three. Entertain, inform, inspire. You have the emotional sensitivity to read the people around you, whether it's an audience or a social situation. You can read the emotions of your audience, and you have the ability to control the emotions of the people around you, your social group or your audience, and make them laugh. You can bring their emotional state up, but you also have the ability to bring it down, because that's what you fight against in the three. So you're the life and soul of the party. You know everyone's emotions in the room, and you can almost control everyone's emotions in the room, which is some great abilities to have for you to be the life path 9 that you need to be, to teach others, to inspire others, to practice what you preach and lead others towards your ideas. You know, it's a great expression number to have for a life path 9. So I'm breaking down the life path 9. So the life path 9 elements are on the left, and how the expression helps or hinders is on the right. So element 1 of the life path 9 that you're here to achieve. So remember, this column is what you're here to struggle with. Okay, if you struggle with it, that's fine. You're meant to struggle with it. Otherwise, you know, what is the point of having this in your life path? Okay, so you're meant to find this difficult, so don't beat yourself up. So you're here to learn, to channel your intuitive wisdom and live to spiritual laws rather than worldly laws, worldly conventions or ideals. You know, sometimes you might have acted in the past through other people's laws and ideals, but then you think about it later when you do channel your intuition, if you ever do, that actually maybe you shouldn't have done that, and if you had channeled source energy, you would never have acted the way you acted. That's very much a life path weakness for the 9. Okay, so you tend to follow worldly laws at times, maybe have prejudices, and maybe even bigoted. Some 9s can be a bit bigoted at times, but it's part of their path. You know, we mustn't judge them for that. That's what they're here to learn. So you can be quite bigoted, and you can use worldly laws, ideals, or things that you think people have done to you in your past as an excuse for actions that aren't really good. You know, things that are less than what you need to be to have integrity, to put it that way. You know, sometimes the 9 can do things and their excuse is, well, you've contravened this ideal. You did this to me when I was younger. You did that. So that justifies me taking action against you. However, if the 9 had channeled their intuition and really looked into their soul, they would have never acted that way. That is your struggle, life path 9. Accessing your intuition and not letting prejudices and things you're not letting go of to take over and make you act in a way that is not becoming, for want of a better word. If you had followed your intuitive wisdom, you wouldn't have acted that way. Okay, but that is a weakness you're here to have. Don't beat yourself up when things like that happen. What's important is how you react and how you learn from that going forward. So your life path 9 does need you to follow your intuitive wisdom from source over worldly logic. You know, it's faith in source energy over what you feel might be logical in the world. It must come first. Faith must come first. But your 3 energy might make you a bit more of a worldly expresser because of the intense expressive energy that you have. You're a doer. Your talent is in the expression of ideas to other people to enhance an emotion through verbal emotion, physical artistry, verbal artistry, whatever you choose to channel your creative energy into. So your focus is on worldly emotional expression, which may mar your quiet connection to source that you need to have to help develop your 9 energy. So worldly logic, laws, ideals, conventions, they're likely to underpin your actions quite a lot. So your personal creative expression is your focus. So to support your life path 9, you need to switch your focus a bit. I mean, your talent is worldly expression, but remember, you're here to develop. So it's not just about expressing, using my talents. They've got to be used to help your life path. So keep that worldly expression, but you must go inwardly more for your life path. It's part of your development. So switch your focus inward sometimes, more often, as much as you can, to perfect your connection to that source intuitive wisdom that you need to be living by as a life path 9. This is the wisdom that should be informing your actions and your decisions. So by all means, you need to be a worldly expresser for the 9. How will you get followers and pass on your intuitive wisdom without expression? But for the 9, you need to go inward as well, so that you can be sure that what you are sharing with the world is good and it's not negative. You know, whatever comes from source is positive. So always channel it in from source and you can never go wrong. And this wisdom should inform everything you do as a 9. It will really develop your path. Okay, keep your expression. Not asking you not to be expressive. I'm asking you to also look within and spend a fair amount of time looking within. You're here to learn to act with integrity, good intentions, for the good of other people. The 9 can sometimes trick other people, you know. They can make you think that they're here for your well-being and actually they're a confidence trickster and they're just there for their own well-being. But that is a really low vibrational 9. So please, I'm not calling you that. I'm not saying you're a confidence trickster just because you're a 9. I'm saying that's the lowest level of the 9 energy. So you're here to learn to act with integrity, to use your amazing power in the 9 and in the 3 for the benefit of other people, of course, as well as yourself. Don't bring down yourself, but, you know, act for the well-being. You're here to act for the well-being of others, to be very global in your well-being, to spread your well-being message for others. You're powerful. You must use your power for the benefit of others, you know, because it can do terrible things if you don't. You can act for very selfish, nefarious reasons, as I've already commented. But when you channel your energy from your intuitive wisdom, that's just not going to happen. So it's a really important thing for you to do, is to be channeling that intuition. Your life path needs you to use that incredible power that you have in the 9, as well as that expressive energy of the 3, to help others and not just for your own selfish, nefarious reasons. The 3 can be a bit selfish at times. So at times, the 3 energy could exacerbate your tendency to be quite selfish and nefarious. But fight against that, especially now you've seen this video and you know how important it is for you as a 9 to act with integrity, is to fight past selfishness and look towards the well-being of others. But your 3 talent energy can be both considerate and hard-working, and also self-centered and lazy. You can be both. Okay, so support your life path 9. Focus your intention on acting for the well-being of others with integrity for the betterment of humanity and the world. Your 9 energy is here to be a humanitarian, which we're about to find out more in a minute. So you're here to lead by example, to practice what you preach. So to, you know, the 9 can be quite condescending. You're a mixture of all the numbers and you know what ability you have. So you can be quite condescending and domineering and an advisor with all the answers, to the point when you end up taking over people's lives a little bit. That's the tendency of the life path 9, to be a bit of the all-powerful wisdom-filled advisor and the only person with the answers. You can be a bit arrogant. We need to get past that, because all the wisdom that you have doesn't actually come from you anyway. You channel it from source. You're just the channel. Okay, so it's not about you being arrogant and condescending and the person with all the answers, you know, because people have to live their lives too. They have to make their own mistakes. So you're here to learn by example, practice what you preach, but not go over the top and domineering and taking over people's lives. You must know when to stop with your advice and your counsel, and know when to, I've given you the advice, I've given you the wisdom from source. It's up to you now to take those actions forward. The 9 can sometimes overstep the mark and meddle a bit too much. So what we're here to do, what you need to achieve in the 9, is to lead by example, to advise, to practice what you preach and show people the way, and then know when to go, right, now it's time for you to take that forward, not to completely be domineering, to over-advise, over-meddle and get too involved, because other people have a path to achieve too. They must learn and make their own mistakes. Your life path 9 needs you to lead by example, as I've said, but your 3 talent energy makes you a creative, rebellious, jovial leader. You're not necessarily all that responsible all the time, and you're not necessarily always channeling from spirit. You're a bit of a maverick. You like to be a bit irresponsible. You like to have fun. I mean, why not? I've got 3 in my chart. Woohoo! You like to have fun, be a bit of a rebel, bit of a maverick. You're led by your emotions, which is the bane of my life, being led by my emotions. So sometimes you may fail to practice what you preach because you've allowed your emotions to overtake you, and your views might sometimes become inconsistent because of your emotions. So your 3 energy helps you a lot, but sometimes your creative, rebellious, inconsistent side to your nature can sometimes impact on what you preach and stopping you from actually practicing that, especially when your emotions are on a high. So we want to guard against letting your emotions stop you from doing what you know intuitively is right. Support your life path 9 by following consistent ethics that you've channeled from source, and express that in your decisions and your leadership and your ensuing actions. Allowing your emotions to take over will not help you to channel to your source energy and to act in a way that is going to be edifying for other people, because they look to you for answers. If you act nefariously, they will act nefariously. Practice what you preach, and preach the intuition that you take from source energy that you always know is correct. Okay? Support your life path by following your intuitive ethics and express that in everything you do and in every action you take, so that people can follow you, and you will then be their ethical, intuitive leader. But again, know when to stop and let them take over their lives. You're here to make your life your teaching, as well as knowing when to stop. So this is where people find the mismatch of the balance. When do you stop teaching? When do you stop helping? When your intuition tells you so. When your intuition tells you you've done all you can. But you are here to make your life your teaching. You need to counsel with wisdom. You're a developed soul. Very much. If you're a life path 9, you've got a lot of skills from all the other numbers. You've got the potential of the skill of all the numbers in numerology, because all of the numbers added together add up to a 9. So you're very multi-talented, very multi-skilled. You can turn your hand to anything. So you're full of cellular experience and a lot of extra spiritual higher knowledge as well. So your life path 9 needs you to channel intuitive wisdom, to live by this wisdom, and then teach this wisdom to others. Your 3 talent energy is able to express so well. You're the best at expressing yourself to an audience. You're the ultimate speaker, the actor, the emotional performer that has people hooked and hanging on your every word. You have that ability on the 3. So you're able to express, to inspire, to teach, to inform, to entertain. You may struggle to listen to that inner wisdom at times, because remember that 3 energy is very outwardly expressive, and you may sometimes be led by your emotional reactions, whether good or bad. But when it's bad, your emotional reactions can take you totally away from your intuition. So you need to guard against that. But, you're an expression 3, so you are an emotional little being, because your life path 9 is also an emotional number. So you are going to struggle with your emotional reactions. Okay. But now you know this, maybe you can, do some meditations or look for some resources online to help you deal with your emotional reactions. There's so much out there, and I'm going to be doing videos on that kind of thing as well, because I of course need to learn about emotional reactions too. So it's not just you. So making sure you're acting through your wisdom, not through your emotional reactions. Okay. So support your life path 9 by making quiet time to listen and channel your intuitive ideas, ideals, opinions, ways of living, concepts that you teach must all be channeled and checked and run by source energy. And then bringing them into the real world, manifesting them into the real world by passing that energy of those wisdom-filled ideas on to other people so that they can use that energy that you channel to them in your teaching to improve their own well-being. Not for you to hold their hand to take them there, but for you to give them the wisdom and the energy they need to take that path themselves. That is what you're here to achieve. Okay. And you have great expressive ability to draw people in so that they listen to you. All I'm saying here is take heed of your emotions. Sometimes they can, when they're really positive, they can connect with an audience amazingly, and emotions are great. You need them for channeling to your audience and making people listen to you. However, the emotional reactions can go the other way, and sometimes you can be quite explosive. And if you're a Life Path 9 Expression 3, you already know that. So put some extra action into helping yourself to calm and to breathe through any possible emotional explosions that you have or may have. Okay? Because it's, emotional explosions aren't going to help your future, and it's certainly not going to help anyone or yourself. Okay, so quiet time, listening, breathing, channeling those intuitive ideas, and then manifesting them by communicating them with charisma to other people so that they can improve their own well-being. You're here to learn to be a humanitarian, to help a wider audience. The 9 is very much about helping the world, to make the world a better place. So you need that global consciousness. Remember, you're working towards that as a Life Path 9. So your 3 talent energy gives you the talent to heal and inspire and to make people laugh, to make people feel good just through your verbal creative artistry, your art, your physical performance, your words. You have that ability to raise people's spirits. But, your intentions aren't necessarily always on people, because the 3 can be quite a selfish, creative number. And it's okay to be selfish at times. Some numbers have got to be selfish, otherwise no one would progress. So your intentions might not always be for those distant. It's going to be for those close to you or yourself, where you're going to focus most of your, attention through your creative artistry, because you're a 3, you express to those around you. But the Life Path 9 needs you to develop towards directing your creative artistry and verbal expression towards a worldly audience, to make the world a better place, not just the people around you or the family or your friends. You're here to be global. So use your ability, use your amazing creative artistry, however you express it, verbal or creative artistry, towards making the world a better place, not just yourself or the people around you. You're here to be a humanitarian, to look to the world a bit more widely, maybe getting involved with organizations where you can maybe use your talent in the 3 to speak for organizations, speak on their behalf, to help them move forward, to help them save the world. I mean, the opportunities are endless. It depends what your interests are, what your passions are, and the subject of what you want to share with the world in the 9. Because the message you need to share in the 9, you've got the talent in the 3 to do it. So finding that passion. You're also here to take responsibility for your powerful choices. Again, I'm telling you, the 9 and the 3, very powerful numbers. You sometimes run away from the consequences of your actions, and try and hide away from it because you think, oh no, I've channeled my intuition now and I really shouldn't have done that. And maybe if I say I didn't do it, then it will just all go away. But you must take responsibility for the actions that you take. Your Life Path 9 suggests that you struggle to take responsibility for your powerful decisions and the things that you do. And your emotionally reactive 3 energy could exacerbate this quite a lot at times. if it's not managed. It can exacerbate poor choices and definitely a refusal to take responsibility. 3 likes to be happy-go-lucky. You like to have fun. You like adventure. You like to create new things. You're not interested in taking responsibility for your actions or looking back behind you to your aftermath. You surge ahead. So you're emotionally 3 creative, but emotionally reactive talent energy may exacerbate some of your emotional reactions, the poor choices, refusal to take responsibility after that poor choice has manifested. So to support your life path 9, which needs to be more humanitarian, you must think more about the impact on others before you act. And then when you do act, because no one's perfect, okay, we all act and do silly things. So when we do something silly, take responsibility for it and learn by it. That's how you develop as a person. Learn by your mistakes, take responsibility and move on. But to help your life path 9, that excitable emotional 11 needs to be able to take a breath and think before you act. Okay, because when you do that, you will take more responsibility for your choices and your emotions will be less reactive and you're less likely to do something that you are going to regret or refuse to take responsibility for at a later date. Okay, but this is a difficulty you're meant to have. Okay, so this is not a difficulty I want you to beat yourself round the head with. This is a difficulty I want to see you try and develop as your life path. Okay, develop towards being an entrepreneur. You're a business person. Your 3 energy is going to help this a lot. It's great. So you're here to use your passions and your ability to be a practical business person to spread your word to the world. Remember, you're here to be a humanitarian. You're here to teach people your spiritual message. So develop towards being that speaker, that entrepreneur, that business person that uses their passionate subject, whatever your passionate subject is that you want to share in your life path 9, developing that message into a business that you can share globally as that humanitarian, but be a bit of a business person with it. Use your entrepreneurial potential, something that you feel passionate about, work that has meaning for you, because you're a powerful force for change. And if you move ahead with passion, you're going to just achieve great things, especially when your intentions are good, not so much when they're bad, but when your intentions are good. So the expression 3 is going to be amazing at this element, because your life path 9 needs you to use your passions and skills in business to be a successful entrepreneur, to bring about positive change. Well, that's the 3 in a nutshell. You're passionate about the things you love. The 3 loves their own interests, and they can get quite passionate and quite single-minded on their passions and interests. So this can help your 3. It can be the subject of what you express to the world. You never know. Depends who you are and what you're expressing. But you have that ability in the 3 to be incredibly passionate, and you have amazing entrepreneurial skills in the 3. You're a risk-taking, initiating, acting doer and an entrepreneur, and confident with it. So your 3 energy makes you that natural entrepreneur. You've got social skills, you're dynamic, you can take risks, all the risks that are needed to develop a successful business. The 3 will help you a lot here. So use your passion, whatever the subject is that you can share for your life path 9, that wisdom-filled message to the world for the well-being of others, that subject. What is that subject? What is your passion? And that passion should be the basis of your business that you develop, the basis of your entrepreneurship, where you use your 3 skill to bring your 9 energy upwards. That's what you're here to do. You're here to develop charisma, because you can't spread a message to others and make them listen unless you draw their attention to have charisma, to make them hang on your every word. An emotional expression is going to be and wisdom. That is going to be what draws people in. That's what you're here to develop towards in your life path 9. You're here to develop the skills of a powerful speaker and an influencer of others so that people hang on your every word. That's what you're here to achieve. Your life path 9 needs you to do that, and your 3 talent energy again gives you all the ability you need here. You're confident, you're jovial, your social skills are great. You can communicate emotionally and confidently with social groups, with audiences, with any size group. You're a speaker, you're a motivational speaker, you're a teacher, you're an entertainer, you're everything that needs emotional expression. You could heal, you could teach with your physical, with your art, with your words, with however you decide to use your passions. Express that to support your life path 9. So use your passions and your excellent expression skills to really influence and be an influencer of others, so people follow you and hang on your every word. And as long as everything you teach is channeled from source, you're always taking people in the right direction. So be confident with it. You're here to look after the well-being of others, as I keep going on about. And the 9 can sometimes go wrong there, because that's what you're here to learn. So you're here to look after others' well-being. Okay. When you're in trouble or you need support, people don't notice when you need help, because you're always looking after everyone else or looking after yourself. It's that polarity. Totally selfish, overly looking after other people. We need to find a bit of that middle ground so that you look after yourself as well as others, but you're not totally just looking after yourself and conning others. You see what I'm trying to get at? Look after others, but also yourself is what you need to learn in the life path 9, because it's not, you're here to help a lot of other people, and because you're full of wisdom, you help a lot of people, but you're not so good at asking for help. You also need to ask for help. Remember, we're all interdependent, and you need help from others too. So what you need to work past is stopping yourself from asking other people for help. You're just as entitled to help from other people as you give help to them. You need help from others too. Okay, ask for it. So your life path 9 needs you to be interdependent, to look towards others, not to just be the giver of help, but the receiver too, and to realize that we all give and receive to each other. We all need each other. But your 3 energy, you like a chill out life. You like to do what you want when you want, really, and it can make you less focused on what everyone else wants you to do, really. So sometimes you can end up being quite dependent on other people, liking others to look after you so you can focus on doing your own thing and your own flexible schedule, because you're a creative artist. You don't like schedule, you don't like roles. You like to be able to do what you want when you want, and that's not always conducive to making money or creating independence. So the 3 can be a little bit dependent on others and very slow to take responsibility in life and get a job and earn money, because you want to do your own thing, create your own time, work to your own schedule, because you're a creative artist at the end of the day. So support your life path 9 by becoming a bit more independent, by realizing that the people are not in this world to serve you. You're there to serve them, but in a balanced way, because you need to look after yourself too, and you need help too. So balanced care for others. So more independent, but not so independent that you're able to support other people's needs and well-being. It needs to be interdependent. So becoming more independent. I need to read that again. That was rubbish. So support your life path 9 by becoming more independent so that you're able to support others' needs and well-being interdependency. Because if you're burnt out and you've done too much, you're not going to be able to help anyone. So looking after others' well-being, but sometimes you've got to take that rest. Don't keep helping others when you haven't eaten for 8 hours. Don't keep helping others if you haven't slept. Okay, make sure you look after yourself too. Otherwise you will burn out and you will kick off. Trust me, you're a very emotional being. Don't let yourself do that. So you're here to also let things go. The 9 life path are very you hold on to things quite a lot. So something like perceived injustices that have happened to you in your past, you hold on to them. And sometimes you can hold on to them with great resentment, even using them as an excuse for revenge acts or doing something nasty to someone, holding on to feelings that make you angry so that you right that perceived injustice by taking revenge on people. Or so you're here to wrap things up. You're here to let go of old perceived injustices from your past, like how people might have treated you bad, and it give you a bit of a victim mentality, holding on to feelings that really just don't serve you anymore. Life Path 9s can be a bit like that. You need to be able to move on from this perceived injustice because you're allowing it to stop you from moving on to bigger and better things. And these perceived injustices are often rooted in like going all the way back to childhood, to family issues. But it's about putting them aside, because at the end of the day, life is about all experience. It's not about everybody being lovely to each other and everybody having a utopian life, because we just don't learn anything. Sometimes people are going to be an asshole to you. Sometimes people are going to do something bad to you. But there's a learning point in there. You're not meant to hold on to it and use it as a stick to beat people with. You're meant to learn from it, okay, and let go. Because holding on to those kind of resentments can be really, really difficult and stop you moving on and make you angry. Remember, you're an emotional person, and with your expression-free energy, whoo, if you've got resentment from your past, boy, can you kick off, and you want to try and guard against that. So your 3 talent energy holds on to and expresses intense emotions at times. So sometimes the 3 can hold on to that emotion, and then one day it goes kaboom, and then that intense emotion can just be incredible, and it can also exacerbate your victim mentality. So this is going to be difficult, and you're going to find this hard with your emotions and your perceived difficulties from the past that you might be struggling to get by. You're here to learn to get by, to go past these problems. Support your Life Path 9 by managing your emotions with the realization that all experience is meant to teach and develop us, to develop our soul. Each incarnation, each lifetime has its difficulties and its good things. You know, it's not what happens to you in this life, it's how you react and learn to it that matters. So if you're holding on to anything that is really holding you back in life, it's time in this lifetime to let go and stop it, kick off the barrier to help you move on with passion. I hope you've really liked my video and found it useful today. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and click that bell icon. Please like my video too, clicking that little thumbs up button. If you want to contact me for a reading on all your core numbers and your pinnacles and all that, it's like a 2-hour reading, or I can do a shortened 1-hour reading for you over Zoom. If you would like a reading, please contact me. If you'd like to request another video for a different life path and expression, please contact me through my Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, my email, or in the description box. In the comments is what I meant. So there's plenty of ways you can get hold of me, and it's all going in the description box. If you'd like to learn a bit about Udemy, I'm also putting a link to my latest Udemy course on numerology, so you can learn all there is to know about the number energies. So, as ever, guys, trust the soul within you, because only your own gut intuition knows what's best for you, especially for you as a Life Path 9. Intuition channeled from source is the way to go.